Hey everybody, Mike with Games Play Badly, and today on Session Zero I have Robin back with us. Robin's with Shrike Tabletop, and they actually have been developing a game called Air of Silence. I talked to her way back in May, episode 13 to be exact, and now their game's actually is on Kickstarter at this very moment. So we're going to catch up and see what's new and exciting, and I can't wait to do that. As always, I am appreciative of all of you, and since this is Thanksgiving week, or coming up, actually when this airs it will be Thanksgiving week, I just want to say that one of the things I am thankful for is all of you. I'm thankful to all of my Twitter followers, and those of you who have been kind enough to subscribe to this channel and actually watch its content. So thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving to those who are celebrating it. One other thing I'm really thankful for is Matt from Dungeon Glitch or Gem Firefly, because of these amazing shirts that I get to wear every interview. If you want a shirt like this, or you want to get a new shirt, if you want to peruse some shirts, go to gemfirefly.com, take a look around, and when you get ready to check out, go ahead and type in BADLY15 for 15% off your order. I can't wait to get started with Robin. That interview starts now. Hi, Robin. How are you?
I am tired, but doing my best. I sleep when it takes me. And
I feel like this was the same conversation we had in May.
yes, time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
Um,
So, Robin, Air of Silence is actually in Kickstarter right now. Pretty exciting, huh?
yeah, we have entered into like the last part of the development stage. We're more or less done making the game. We're going to be adding stuff here and there. The mechanics are set in stone. We've balanced a lot of things since then. A lot of stuff's changed. The story's been developed somewhat, and we've also put out some playable modules so people can really try the game for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, right now the Kickstarter is running from now, whenever this airs, until December 16th, I think.
Okay.
And we will be going for a goal of 5,000. We are already 50% there.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, we're a small studio. We don't have a lot in the way of an established presence, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think we're on a good track. I'm hoping by then we'll maybe have even reached one of our stretch goals, which include expanded content. I have a file I just call Splat Book until I call it something else, which is just other Air of Silence things that didn't really fit into this book that we'd still like to publish.
Sure, yeah, expansions or additions.
Not even just expansions, just something that you can unlock with a stretch goal. Just,
okay. Oh yeah, yeah.
Extra books. Yeah. But there will be expansions, and if we don't do the stretch goals, that will probably be where those go. But and also some extra moss art, things like that. But at the moment, we're still going for that 5K. So if you want to get a hardcover copy of Air of Silence, go check that out.
Well, now from the standpoint of what we spoke about in May, I mean, the game was really starting to come together. What's changed? Have any of the mechanics changed? Why don't you give us a recap about what the game is and how it functions, and then you can tell us what's changed.
Yeah. Era of Silence is team-focused, chemically charged combat in the Long Silence. Basically, what that means is it's a future fantasy setting with a lot of alchemy in a world abandoned by its gods and ruined by climate disaster, and just how these people are surviving and even thriving thanks to cooperation and survival and alchemy, this scientific alchemy that's been mastered. And mechanically, it's built on the Thorn system. Now, if you're a fan of traditional RPGs or pop RPGs, as I like to call them, I feel like the term fits better. Anyway, if you like the combat in those games, but feel like they can be a little bit slow, a little bit clunky, Air of Silence is very much the game for you. It's fast, but without ever taking away the tactical aspect of it that I feel like a lot of fast combat systems often do. And yeah, the Thorn system also that we built the game off of inherently encourages teamwork.
Mhm.
It's designed as a roll low dice pool system where, because of a variable target number, either the die type or amount of dice you roll will matter more. So not everyone's always the best at a certain skill check or combat check or whatever 100% of the time. And character creation is modular. I don't know what we were at last time, but we're up to 15,000 possible builds.
Wow.
It doesn't feel like it, though. Most people who've played the game, including Roll Less Taken's Graham, says it actually feels like a pretty straightforward process. It takes about half an hour to make a character. And there's a lot of other stuff. I could just keep going. I mean, I think in May, I was just finishing up the allies system.
Yes.
There's a system for allies and crews where you can recruit NPCs and form them into little side parties that do jobs for the main party. It's very fun. That's like a mid to late game sort of thing when like the players have a bit of established authority. It's very much like a campaign game, although we do have one shots, and one shots can still be satisfying.
Yeah, if they're run properly, they can be satisfying in any system, actually.
Yeah. So
No, go ahead.
in terms of new mechanics, I don't think we've actually added much. The game's been its core self for a bit. It's been the balancing and playtesting aspect of it. Things like we've changed how you spend stamina in close combat so that it's closer to how range combat works. We've added a bunch of gear. We did add a bunch of gear. There's a lot more gear than there used to be. There are Sporeborn now, which I don't know if they were in the game as of when we last talked. The mushroom robots.
I don't believe we talked about those.
So there's a new species we've added, which is a construct species, fungus that's kind of like the fungus we see in our world, that like gets smart and can like solve puzzles and stuff. This keeps evolving and evolving in the world of Vian until some of the fungus achieves sentience, and then they get plugged into a robot shell and they move around as little they're called Sporeborn. I'm sure there's more. The open playtest book, which is the final version of the book until we release the paid copy, like the finished game, that's out right now and totally free. We were going to keep the entire game free forever. We had some talk with some friends in the industry who think essentially what we came to is that as nice as it is to make games accessible, and you can make games accessible with like community copies and such, you also need to value art. So we are trying to we are going to establish a price point. Shrike Tabletop is a 4-person team. I do want to pay my people. So the game will be like, I think we're planning on like the rule book for 50 and the PDF for like 15. And the rule book is mostly just like the hardcover.
Sure. I mean, there are plenty of people who love I mean, I still love hardcover stuff too.
Oh, the entire goal of this is mostly vain. We just want to have our own book on our shelves.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where the game's constantly, even now we're still tweaking stuff. We're kind of done with the major balance changes. We've integrated everything into one book. The narrator's guide is no more. It's just Era of Silence, the core rule book.
Okay.
But the narrator's guide, all that material is just in the same book now, so you don't have to swap between documents.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I the last time we talked, it was pretty exciting. I know you, again, sleepless nights trying to complete various milestones that you were working on. And now here we are in a full-fledged Kickstarter. So that's incredibly exciting. And the fact that you're 50% funded already is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm very proud of you. I feel like I knew you when you're just a wee writer back in the day,
in
5
the
months
distant
ago.
halcyon days of May 2021.
Right, exactly. Well, as time flies. I mean, I think we figured out you were episode 13. You're now going to be episode 31. Oh, look at that. 13 and 31.
Oh, wow.
Is that crazy?
Yeah. I just want to say, I'm really proud of my team. I feel like last time we talked, one thing that's really changed is that Shrike Tabletop itself has changed.
Yeah, it has.
we have different lineup.
Mhm.
In lineup, I think we swapped out a member. We have Willa Conan with us now, who is our social media, does our TikTok presence, and does a lot of our other video work, things like
Nice.
that. Does some of the art, although that's mostly the domain of Moss Sugar Mountains, who is our lead artist. The best art a girl can get with a limited budget.
Yeah,
No,
I
God, that
get
sounds
you.
bad. No. Moss is simply fantastic. Like most everything anyone says about the game to like me is like this art. Like, who did you get? And I'm like, oh, it's just my friend Moss.
Well, and that was the thing is, so we were talking your previous video, which I'm gonna go ahead and recommend. It's gonna be right here. Watch that interview. It may be a little dated, but you get a lot of the information from that video as far as who Robin is and kind of their trials and tribulations. But we were talking about how the cover art has changed.
Yeah. The cover art changed. That was always going to happen, I think. Like that image Moss drew is very good, and I intend to keep that in like the annals of Era of Silence history forever. But their style changed and the game kind of changed. We developed an identity over time that like we didn't really have at the start. We knew the world of Vian and we knew the Thorn system, but we hadn't really seen what the two of them created together. And what they have has been described by my friends as magenta dystopia. An art style and aesthetic, but also an ethos that we call ChemiPunk.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, future fantasy with an alchemical focus on the technology, and I insist on this, with the requisite anti-fascist and anti-capitalist elements of a punk game, like of a dash punk like subgenre.
Sure.
This has caused some stir in certain discords. Anyway.
So the Kickstarter runs through the 16th of December, yes?
Yes, and we will, after that, get right to work on fulfillment of rewards. We're planning, probably with how quickly we expect to work, with most of us having other jobs, summer of 2022 would be reward fulfillment, but like early summer. So we're optimistic. We're doing great. We're all a little bit tired, the entire team. Oh, and I didn't even mention Dan O'Neill, the author of the Thorn system, and one of my old friends who got married in the middle of this and still somehow managed to kick his ass. Can I swear?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, kick his ass enough to finish like a bunch of layout and a full copy pass on the book, which we hadn't done in ages. Yeah, like I'm just very proud of the entire team, and like I feel like one of the big things that's changed since the last time we talked is that it's kind of become less of like a Robin Belle project and more of a Shrike tabletop project. And Shrike tabletop itself, I've been dethroned. We are technically a democratic collective now. I stepped down as head of operations, and I am simply an admin. And we were much happier with it. Like we were all very happy with this like better team environment we've created.
Well, so I mean, through the process of playtesting and kind of working together, and maybe a little bit of new blood into Shrike, not only has the game evolved, but the company has evolved as well.
Yeah, we want this to be a project that we can use to fund each other and maybe eventually fund new cool people. To like an artistic slush fund, basically. We're not really, Shrike is not a for-profit operation. All this Kickstarter stuff is going to go through just funding us making this game and other games. And we're looking forward to it. I think we're on a good path, and I'm really happy with the steps we've taken and with how the Kickstarter is going. We'll see. 2022 looks good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to get the final product in my gritty little palms, so that way I can take a look at it. And it's always fun to have additional game systems to play, because there's not one game system that fits all players. Yeah. I've always felt, I love D&D. I always will. It's one of my favorite settings, but combat is a little sloggy, and so the Thorn system to me sounded kind of good, because that's the only real issue that I have with D&D is it takes you out of role play. So I mean, if you're trying to role play and then you go into combat, depending on how sloggy it is, it can really get to be all mechanics, all dice rolls, and you kind of lose that momentum.
The joke I think I post on Twitter is no hit points, gang. What we did was create a system where hit points aren't there, so instead it's all about cover and not getting shot or running into someone fast enough that you can smack them before they smack you. It's combat resolves in a round. We made the system that we want for ourselves at the end of the day, and that's because like we grew up as 4E kids. Dan and I were both started playing RPGs with the 4th edition D&D set. I myself don't like 5e. Totally respect those who do.
Sure, I get it.
But Dan is the only DM who could make me like 5e because he's very fun. And yeah, and my love of Savage Worlds, which I think shows throughout the game to the point that we had to change some wording.
It's some inadvertent nods.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it's a legacy. It's a new generation of that style of RPG. And we definitely think that people who like games like, I'm not allowed to say that one, but the Dragon game. No, it's been established in Shrike meetings. I'm not allowed to compare our games to other games in official licensing things. I mean, official interviews.
Right.
Anyway.
I get you.
Yeah.
So we haven't gotten a chance to talk in like 6 months, and I was just super excited to hear about the Kickstarter. And when you sent me a message on Twitter, and I was like, we have to talk again, and I just wanted to check in on you and see how you're doing.
We're doing fine. I'm going to take a little bit of time off, like a day off after this. And
they take a couple. I think you've afforded yourself a couple days.
Unfortunately, I'm also graduating college, so
wow.
this semester, I'm real burnt out.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, I think the last time we were talking, you were doing something else. It was school, and
I think I was finishing another semester.
Yeah. So you're a very busy person, which is interesting because I feel like all of you are kind of spinning multiple plates, but none of them are falling. So that's good.
Yeah. Here's hoping that none of them fall, or if they do, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
So
yeah, right. Well, do you remember what we did last time? Do you remember my lightning round?
I'm so sorry. It's 6 months feels like a distant, like in today's, like how time's moving.
And you know what? And to be honest, there was a point in time where I may not have done it. So this may be your first time.
It's possible. I don't think I did the lightning round though.
Yeah. So the lightning round is super easy. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Answer them as quickly as you can from the standpoint of don't think too hard on them. Obviously, if you want to explain your answers, you can. It's very hard hitting, very deep diving stuff. So prepare yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready? You look nervous.
Cut off, but I always look nervous. I'm told I look scared all the time, and that's not related to you.
All right. So I'm gonna ask the hardest one first.
All right.
Cake or pie?
Pie. My family makes pies. We have a family recipe.
Oh wow! What kind of pie is that?
Pecan pie and pumpkin pie are 2 specialties.
I love me some pecan pie, or as they say in the South, pecan pie.
Yeah, my father's from Oklahoma, just close enough.
You know, I'm from Oklahoma too. Actually, I was born in
Tulsa. Tulsa. He's from Tulsa.
Yeah, I grew up in a small town. Yeah, I grew up in a very small town outside of Broken Arrow called Cookson.
Mm-hmm. I don't know the area super well. I've lived out in Maryland my whole life, but yeah, cool.
There we go. Well, now we see instant connection. Have you ever had ever heard of a chess pie?
Yes. I think I prefer pecan after a while, but like that as a kid, I preferred chess.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what a chess pie is, look it up. It is divine. It's kind of like a pecan pie without the pecans.
Yeah.
So
basically.
Spring or fall?
Fall. Both are allergies, but one's prettier to me. I like the reds.
Oh, that's hysterical. They're both allergies for you. My husband as well. He seems like he's clogged up all year round.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's also the perfect, like, just the perfect temperature
Right.
for me. I like to work outside in the fall a lot. A lot of the recent Era of Silence book been written outside in the fall.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love to work outside if I can.
Yeah, I just have a little tablet. I just sit on my used to be my deck, now my patio. I moved, but all right.
Now another good one is hamburger or hot dog.
I have a Five Guys burger sitting next to me that I was going to eat before this, but couldn't make it work in time.
I'm surprised you're not drooling right now. Just keep it sitting right next.
This camera is doing a lot of work for me. All right.
What is your favorite monster? It could be.
I would have to say I'm very fond of The Thing.
The Thing, okay.
Yeah, just I mean, like thinking about like my favorite like horror movie, like the John Carpenter's The Thing, just like the unknowable nature of it, and like
yes.
just it's like the alien, like it's in its nature kind of intense sort of thing, which is like throughout the movie. It's also The Thing is also my favorite horror movie. Anyway.
What is so the Thing is a good answer, because The Thing also freaks me out because of exactly what you said. It's kind of this it's hard to, you can't put your finger on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. What is your favorite color? I could probably guess.
Used to be purple. I recently have found my love of deep reds, like a good magenta, either deep reds or I'm kidding myself. It's magenta. Like half red, half purple, like right in the middle. Like it's the Shrike logo. We also have the the color we're going to trademark, or patent or whatever. I have to talk to the artists. Anyway, we have a color that we made called ChemiPunk.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just a specific shade of pink that we use that like is in all of this around me.
Oh yeah, that's a great background too.
Yes, this is from the cover of the book.
Oh, nice. That's, and I'll update the cover on the old video. But yeah, the artwork is fantastic, and
This is great.
It's one of those things where when you're launching Kickstarters like this, the majority of your funds are going toward artists, which as it should be, because I mean they're completing something out of nothing for you, and that's where a lot of the creators I talk to spend a lot of their money. So
yeah, but
I am so happy to see you again. I'm so glad everything is going well. I wish you and the team the absolute best. And maybe we'll check in after the Kickstarter so we can pop some champagne and celebrate.
Gladly. I'm sure I'll send out a bunch of very excited messages the day we cross that 5K line.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah, here's helping. Thank you so much for having us on.
Absolutely, anytime. If you want to check out anything that we're talking about right now, it'll be down in the description below. I'll link the Kickstarter. I'll link all the information that you need to know about. And obviously the artwork that I was showing while we're talking is part of the book. So if you like that, obviously that's a big sell. But go ahead and support Era of Silence. Get out there, throw your money at it. You won't be disappointed, I can guarantee it, because I know a lot of really hard work's gone into it. And Robin, thank you again for being awesome, and I'm really looking forward to everything being released.
Thanks so much.
Have a great night.
You too.